Hello and welcome to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast. As you've seen from recent episodes, we have had a string of special guests on our GrapeSEED Friends series, and today is no different. I'm sure you have your own favorite GrapeSEED song or big book tune. I certainly have mine. You might remember in Savin's 10 Things episode that he talked about being impressed with the variety of musical styles incorporated in our music, especially with the jazzy washing machine song in Unit 9. Well, here is the man behind the arrangements of our music. Josh Friesen has been an invaluable member of the GrapeSEED family for many, many years now. If you have a favorite song or a big book tune, it is more than likely Josh that arranged it. So welcome to the podcast, Josh.
Thank you very much, Adam. Nice to be here.
Okay, we're going to go with the normal voice. We're not going to go with the funny voice you tried before the recording started.
Maybe not.
Okay, so let's start with some information about you. How did you find GrapeSEED and how long have you been with us?
Well, my wife and I had been married for a couple of years. This was back in 2006, and she picked up a brochure for Meisen Academy in Japan, and brought it home and said, "Let's move to Japan." And we were living in Vancouver, and I said, "No way! No, what?" I was working in television, doing audio for a broadcaster in Vancouver. I started my own recording studio, and she just sort of let it simmer. A month later, I said, well, maybe we should move to Japan. Well, at least maybe let's interview. So we did. Another month later, we drove down to Seattle and interviewed and got the job. And several months later, we flew to Japan and moved to Japan. Okay. And I left my music career back in Vancouver. We had a little apartment in Japan. I brought just enough recording equipment to sort of do it as a hobby and hopefully find some clients in Japan. And it didn't take long before I connected with Wine Studios and started producing some music for film trailers and some background music for a few projects. But the best was Anne was teaching immersion. It was the first year they were doing this immersion program. They had no curriculum materials. So her, Esther Fanger, and Kim Broman, the three of those ladies were building this curriculum with the help of Loretta Cusack. Is making this curriculum from scratch. So I was at the right place at the right time. They would finish teaching at 3 or 4 and then make this curriculum until dinner time every night. And then in the evenings, I would help them record this grassroots REP program. Mm-hmm. And we'd record audiobooks, songs, and they created these CDs they sent home with every student after every unit, and these books that they laminated so students could use erasable pens on them. And I arranged recordings of songs that they had either rearranged from Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or the alphabet song, and recorded it in our apartment. So by the time GrapeSEED started about a year later, when we were just finishing up our teaching contract, I had already been building all these tracks and songs for Meisen Academy. And they thought, oh, you might be a good music director for our new product. So I was at the right place at the right time, helping them with these tracks. And the rest is history, because I've been now the music director and songwriter for GrapeSEED for now 13 years.
Wow.
Since then. Yeah.
That's cool that you guys were there so early, you and your wife, with those kind of introductory steps into what eventually became what GrapeSEED is now. Like that's amazing that you've been with us for that degree. Like I don't even know that history. So
I feel like that experience teaching GrapeSEED was the perfect fundamental experience for me as the audio director of an English language curriculum project.
Yeah. So because if you never taught kids and you never sung songs with kids in class, then making songs would be so much more difficult.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So what is the general process of how a song in GrapeSEED is made? So who starts with the concept and what is the process it goes through before it gets to you and you add the Josh Friesen magic on the end there?
Magic, eh? Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely magical.
Well, it always starts with the text, and the text is paramount. The curriculum team develops the text using art and science to utilize the perfect arrangement of language functions and vocabulary words into a poem, a song, a story, a chant, an action activity. And then when it's a given unit is complete, I'm given a Word document with all of the songs finished, So they're flexible. If I'm songwriting and I want to add a chorus, I need to repeat a line or adjust some phrasing to go with whatever style of music I'm composing. There is some flexibility, and I ask for approval. But it starts with the curriculum team who build the text and send it to me, and then I make assessments. The art director, Bruce Johnson, assesses what the song is or the story, and then assigns it to an illustrator, or decides if it needs to be animated or filmed with actors. But for music, I typically get together with producers at the company, historically Joshua Broman, Dan Nichols, and Jeff Gibbons, a friend and colleague of mine here in Canada. We gather either in my studio in Calgary or in Japan at Wine Studios and just experiment. We have the text in front of us. We have instruments in our hands. We just throw out as many ideas as we can into the room, into each other's ears, and hope that we have the best idea, or just sort of experimenting with our own creativity and within the confines of the text.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.